Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to the Creative Smartphone Photography Show. How are you doing? I'm doing like this. No, hang on. I'm doing like this. I'm doing like this. Hello, how are you doing? And I'm gonna break open my special lens today. You see, I'm gonna just want to show you something. This beautiful lens that I bought, and I'm gonna do something kind of crazy. Here we go. Crazy tiger, in fact. Crazy Tiger is going to pop that into the lens there. See, I've got so much money. I'm so successful these days. I can use my, lenses as old as drinks cans. There you go. Cheers, everybody. How are you doing? You okay tonight? It's Sunday evening here in Paris, and I've got lots and lots of amazing photographs to show you. Your photographs, and a few other things have been happening as well. If you're watching the replay, hello, you're very, very welcome to watch the replay. That's fine, that's good. Leave a comment, say hello so that I know that the chat is working. And let's immediately have a look at some photographs, shall we? And some other stuff. So the theme was looking through something. And at the beginning of the week, I thought this is going to be the theme where nobody's inspired, nobody posts anything. And how wrong I was. As usual, I was wrong. Let me just see this. And what is the microphone working or not? Hang on a second. Let me just check if the microphone is working here. Let me know if the microphone's working. I had a microphone which maybe is the wrong microphone. Let's check that. Hello, hello. Let's see if you got a comment saying hello. Okay. All right. I'm just going to check something here. Make sure that the hello, hello, hello. Yep. Yep. Okay. So what a bunch of amazing photographs you came up with. Each week, I think now that you won't be able to do as well as you did last week. Anyway. Let's have a look at a few photographs immediately, shall we? Before I start any other sort of chit chat. Let's see what the first ones are that come up. A lot of junk there. What is this? So this is Rob. It's amazing how you interpreted through, going through something, looking through something. Rob is plowing through 10 inches of snow. From last night, he says, I would love to have 10 centimeters. I would love to have 10 millimeters of snow in Paris. Please give me some snow. I want to take snowy Paris photographs. It ain't happening these years. Angela had a beautiful shot. I mean, almost worryingly beautiful. The moon in the middle of a dream catcher with the reflection of the moon coming towards us as it obviously would. And just beautiful, stunning. And this sort of tree branch sticking out in the middle of nowhere. The photo is beautifully split actually into three, isn't it? Above the branch, below the branch, and the sea itself. Just a gorgeous shot. Wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. And then that inspired a few other people's dream catcher shots, not including mine. I didn't do one, but I do have a dream catcher shot of me and my daughter. It's a beautiful shot, but makes me a little sad as well. So where are the okay, maybe the shots were elsewhere. So who's saying hello then? Nazanin is saying hello, and she's saying it's working. Thank you, Nazanin. Okay, and here's Nazanin. Talking of which, I should have blown that last one up. This is very clever. She's taking a photograph of a photograph, and she noticed that in the top, the round glass thing, stopper of the decanter or whatever it's called, there's a miniature upside down picture of the picture. Isn't that super? Lovely. Love that, Nazanin. Well spotted. Isn't it cool when you've got something in mind, you spot things which you don't even realize. That's the great thing about having a theme. Hi, Bea. Lovely to see you. Just want to blow this up just for the sake of it. There you go. Full screen dream catcher in your face. All right, let's chug through a few of these. And then, by the way, I need you to vote, as usual. I would like everybody to vote. You've got about a day to do it until tomorrow. And here are my choices. the ones that we chose. Random words found around. So you're walking around, you see a word somewhere. It could be garage or stop or bit of graffiti. Sunsets or sunrises, which is self-explanatory. Tree details. I'm quite excited about tree details. In other words, not the whole tree. You know, what could that be? Well, it could be branches, leaves, new buds coming up, old buds dying. No, old, I don't know, leaves falling down if you're in that sort of part of the world. Branches, I think I said that. Roots, the bark, holes in the bark, faces seen in the bark. Dorothy. All sorts of stuff possible with trees. So it's neck and neck. Look at that. 34. Basically, it's neck and neck. It's exactly the same number of votes for all of them. So if you vote, you can tip the balance. Vote for 2 out of 3. Okay, go for it. A few more of these. This is Thomas looking through his glasses. Interesting comment here. He translated it and it came to German and it came through as just an old rascal looking through his glasses. I love that. And then he went into some sort of technical point on some German word, which completely lost me, even though I looked it up in Google. They both came through as rascal. That's cool. I think it's pretty cool to be an old rascal. One of the first shots was from 𝗏, and this is Invalides, the dome, the golden dome in Paris, where she works, through a kind of screen. And this, I think this set in motion a whole bunch of sort of screenshots, people taking things through door screens or the back of chairs with a sort of mesh, even some sort of weird like mesh bags for fruit and things came along. So, you know, all you have to do, creativity is contagious. All you have to do is create something and bam, you will inspire others. It's a wonderful thing. Just click on this to see if anything came through. No, there's no other photos hiding there. All right, and this is another dream catcher. This is 𝗏's dream catcher, and it's her daughter's actually, and a little bear seeing through it. That's a beautiful little one, isn't it? Such a cute little one. I think it's only about this big. What did through inspire in you? Did you find it a difficult theme, everyone? If you're watching on the replay, did you find it difficult? Did you find it easy? Did you interpret it literally, like you were looking through something, or did you have more of a metaphorical way of looking at it? Laurel's looking through a sign. She found a sign with a star hole in it and took a picture of her garden or somebody's garden there. Nice. 𝗏, now you can, looking through things are really good for self-portraits, because you can, for example, you could have something you can look through. If you can get the camera on the other side of the thing, then you can get your eyes peeking through something, that sort of thing. And this is an absolutely beautiful shot. Don't know how you managed to make everything fuzzy except the eye. Probably some app somewhere. And cheers if you just joined me. I am drinking from a lens that I don't need. Isn't that the coolest glass you've ever seen? It's even got a lens cap and everything. Okay, so yeah, you know, it's a pretty simple one, isn't it? It's a simple idea. You find something with a cute shape, you look through it, but then you play with the lighting, you make everything else fuzzy, and it's absolutely stunning. Okay, here's Thomas. Now this is slightly worrying. I'm just kind of wondering what it is that he's looking through. And does anyone have any ideas? Does anyone answers on a postcard? What is Thomas holding on to? Is it an old patient of his that he mummified and has hanging in his living room as a kind of decoration, or a lampshade or something? The questions are starting to mount, Thomas. I must remember to blow these up so that we get a look at them really big. Great, I love it. I don't know what you've done with the colors, but they're just wacky colors. They're just gorgeous colors, especially that thing down there at the bottom. It's just it's got a lot of richness in it. I guess it's a sculpture, and I'm joking. It's some sort of sculpture, and the colors are just gorgeous. And good for you, showing your face, Thomas. Not always easy to show your face. You know, people don't always like it. Can feel a bit nervous about it. But you don't have to. Bear's saying she used an app with a filter focus, right? So you can focus on one particular part of the photograph, and that's a good good argument for knowing all of the different things you can do with some of those really cool apps. This is Jean, really a perfect example of interpreting this theme, looking through something. She's found an unexpected hole in a bridge. What is it, for maybe getting rid of floodwater or something? And she peeked through it, and she saw some sort of I don't know, bits of the river or something like that. So that's nice. And she managed to focus through the hole. Not always easy. Sometimes you find that the camera really wants to focus on the thing nearest it. And sometimes you have to sort of, if you stick your finger on the screen where you want it to focus, that can normally work, but not always. It can be quite tricky. When the majority of the thing that is covering in the picture you don't want in focus, can be quite tricky. Sometimes you have to take the shot really quickly before it zaps back to something else. Kristen, haven't seen you for a while, Kristen. Really nice to see you. With one of those beautiful effects you get with this, with the sun shining through clouds, you get this with the moon shining through clouds. There's a rainbow sort of splaying effect. It you know, sometimes it's more pronounced than others, but I mean, it seems to be going sort of yellow, red, purple, blue, which is very strange, isn't it? We normally think of a rainbow as going red through to purple, but this seems to, but of course, once you get to purple, it's moving back into red. And here it looks like the rainbow is actually not the traditional way around. Look, it seems like it starts with yellow, orange, red, purple, blue, with a tinge of green on the edge. That is absolutely unbelievable. Isn't that incredible? This little blue thing here is what you get this sometimes with cameras when you point it into the light, into the sun or into the moon. And, you know, sometimes you can get away with it. You can pretend it's something cool or not care about it. But sometimes you don't want it. You could manipulate it away afterwards, like, you know, copy bits of the photograph over it. Or sometimes you just have to tilt the camera a bit, which, say, for example, you know, for example, in this one here, she tilted the camera so that the moon was more at the top. She really tilted the camera down. That put the moon more at the top. And what this does is it moves that little bright blue spot out of the moon area. So if she wanted, she could crop this photograph. She could crop it the bottom third, and she would lose the spot. You know, just something to think about, whether you want it or not. You know, purists would not want that. They would absolutely not want that at all. But I don't care. I've even had some photographs I've pretended it was the moon and stuff like that, that little blue spot. Lovely to see you, Kristen. This was so funny. Ingrid, a house, well, I mean, a building thing in construction with what looks like a fully finished house on top. That's kind of weird. I'm not sure if that was a through thing or not, or just a general photograph. Absolutely weird, isn't it? By the way, I'm gonna just move over to something here on Today's the Day and show you this. Today's the Day is the group where you say what you've done today. You know, you say what has made today meaningful for you. And today is a day that I transformed a disappointment into a positive thing. And that isn't what this photograph is. This photograph is me yesterday walking around near the Eiffel Tower and seeing double. Do you have any idea what's happening here in this photograph? Well, I'll tell you, you're not seeing double, as it were. You're literally seeing what I saw. They have built a new Eiffel Tower. I made an April's Fool joke saying that the old one is rusting, so they've replaced it with one that is only a 20th of the size, and they're going to take the original down. No, it's not actually true. That was an April Fool's joke. But they have built a little one. It's kind of weird. They call it Eiffel, you know, Eiffel Tower, Eiffel. So she's had a little daughter, and you know, weird kind of thing. But there's an installation part of this. It's something that's big. You can walk under the arch of the new one, the little one, and there's a recording of a baby coming from it. Really, a baby, and at some point, a mother then comes and comforts it. The mother's supposed to be the lady, the Eiffel Tower, the big Eiffel Tower, comforting her baby and calming it down. It's kind of weird, to be honest, but you know, this is France. So there you go. And what a wonderful, I don't know if you remember, but one of my photographic objectives is to take a lot of photographs of the Eiffel Tower, and for none of them to look the same as any of the others. I mean, it's quite a challenge, but you know, I'm just walking along and all of a sudden there's another Eiffel Tower. So, you know, Paris keeps throwing stuff at me. I haven't run out yet. Anyway, the disappointment I wanted to tell you about was that I applied, along with probably hundreds of other people, to do a photographic project at the Army Museum. And I found out yesterday that I hadn't been accepted, but I mean, like, probably hundreds hadn't. But you know, I put a bit of effort in with the application. So I thought, okay, it might have been good. It probably would have been good. But having said that, I'd been wandering around the Army Museum for about 6 months, trying to come up with, you know, original, interesting things. And I thought, well, now I'm free. That in my imagination, all the time that I would have done that, I'm free to do something else. What could it be? And I thought, right, I'm going to start my Paris masterclass. So just to cut a long story short, if you want to see what I've done, I have done, this is my home, my profile. And this is it. This is the start of my Paris masterclass. Curious Connoisseurs Paris masterclass. And this is for people who love Paris or who want to know more about it and want to know, you know, want to become real connoisseurs. It's going to be a big project. And this is a sort of pre-launch thing, but I'm not advertising it here. I'm just showing you. So I'm pretty excited about that. I turned what was a disappointment into a victory because I've been meaning to start this for years. And here it is. It is now a thing. I'm going to start it this week. People who join will immediately get some cool Paris stuff. And there you go, you see. So that's my attitude, to never look on anything as a failure, but look on it as either something you can learn from or something to inspire something else. So there you go. That was that. Let's go back to the photographs. And don't forget, I want you to vote. Now, what was it again? So the vote for the new theme is going to be either bits of trees, and I've forgotten the other two. What were the other two? Can't remember. Let's see if I can zoom up here somewhere and see if I can find it. The trees. Where is the vote? There it is. Tree details, sunsets or sunrises, and I'm going to just refresh this just in case. And random words found around. In other words, you're walking through the streets or anywhere really, or it could be a book, and you see a word as part of a picture. Well, what I'm looking for. Which are you going to go for? Right, I'll let this charge up again. And let's go down and see more photographs. And after a few more, I will show you some of my latest stuff. I've just finished a new chapter. Okay, yeah, so it's neck and neck. Look at this, it's neck and neck. So we need a few more votes and we will see which is the chosen theme for next week. All right, let's chug through a few of these again. This was me. That was on the broken theme. Not sure what that's doing there. Someone must have commented on it. You can see the Eiffel Tower on the edge of that. I've mended it now. It's in a pretty awful state, but it's holding coins. This is, I don't know what Dorothy's done there, but there's no comment, so I won't comment either. Love is everywhere. Kristen did a great one. There's a double meaning in this, and I do love double meanings. It says, love is everywhere. sometimes you have to look a little deeper to see it. So in life, that's the case, I guess. And also in this photograph, if you look deeply through this, you can see the word love graffitied onto some wall. That's beautiful, isn't it? Another option is obviously, if she could have got the love in focus and then the bars fuzzy, that would also have been beautiful. Great, absolutely, I love that one. Dorothy, I don't know if Dorothy just has, you know, amazing crystals lying around the garden, you know, walking around, oh look, there's an amazing crystal, or if she puts them there. But photographing something through crystal, that's almost showing off, isn't it? So there's a some sort of the flowers through a crystal. That is, I wonder what happened with the statue in the first picture. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful garden you've got there. Lovely. Looks like a bit of a little paradise. Oh my God. When I saw this, the first thing I thought it was a set of teeth, somebody's false teeth. It's actually a tulip through the crystal. I don't know if that says something about my mind. This was me wandering around last weekend with my boy Leo. It's kind of strange because we went to a place where there was a nice little street with unconventional Paris street numbers, and it was right next to a reservoir in Paris in the south. And then we got on a train, went for a random train ride, got off, and there was a cemetery. We went into the cemetery, and next to the cemetery was another Paris reservoir. And there's not many, there's maybe 3 in Paris. So that was a bit of a coincidence. So we're in a cemetery looking through a gravestone, which is hollow. It's kind of like a frame for this statue's head. And through it, you can see 2 huge water tanks up in the air next to the reservoir. Kind of strange, isn't it? This will definitely be a photograph in my series, Where's Sab? I've got a Paris series, Where's Sab? So I'll put this picture and I'll say, you know, where am I? Come on, Paris connoisseurs, where am I? This is in Paris. Where is it? And see if they get it. Through a window, and she's put, it's actually a cool effect. This is great. You know, sometimes this 3D effect works or it doesn't work, but because you're on a road, it makes you feel like you're in the car, which is, yeah, it's kind of weird, isn't it? Kind of strange. Bear, the platform through the window. Now Bear's getting into reflections on trains. Is that right, Bear? And let me just plug this, maybe just plug this in. Got a feeling the connection might be better. Plug this into the net. Yeah, Bear is getting into reflections in windows, and I'm not sure if she, oh, maybe I got chopped off there for a second. I'm back anyway. If I got chopped off, I'm back. And I think she got inspired by a series of photographs that I did of Jean. Then she did a series of photographs. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself because we're going in the wrong order here. We're kind of going from the newest shots to the ones before. This is Teresa looking through an elevator, a glass elevator door. I'm trying to work out what's going on here. I guess that's a picture of a river. View is better. She says the view. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Okay. Not quite sure what to say about that one. Laurel again through the windscreen. Laurel is into. I hope she wasn't driving at the same time. Taking up through the coal window, through the wire fence, through the gap, and through the tunnel. That's true. That's true. Yeah, absolutely. Lots and lots of throughs there. Through times 4 to the power 4. And this is a Nazanin through, I don't know, she hasn't, is there a comment? Here it is. Big Ben and Westminster viewed through a boat's frame. You're on a boat on the Thames. That's cool. I might do that this summer. I'm not sure if I'm going to be in London long enough. Good old Big Ben, eh? You know, there's a kind of Big Ben in Paris. I call it Petit Pierre, Little Peter. And it looks quite similar. It's attached to the Gare de Lyon. Looking through the window with reflections on the glass. Multi-dimensional view. Yeah, yeah. This is from 𝘚𝘢𝗣. Auto portrait double exposure with reflection of the sun. This is quite difficult to work out what's going on in this. It's pretty striking, but it's kind of weird because you've got the big face, you've got the smaller face below the bigger one, and then you've got this straight line going across with the eyes behind. I can't work out what's going on, but it's a really striking photograph. I can even see other people at somebody else's face photograph. Very, very intriguing. Okay, that's me. Angela. This is Angela who I think she started the trend, or maybe it was 𝘚𝘢, of looking through things. And she's looking through a screen, a mesh on a door perhaps. And the amazing thing is that this looks like it's printed on canvas, don't you think? It's pretty impressive, pretty amazing, and beautiful. Angela, again, looking through the bottom of a glass, an empty water glass. Otherwise, she would have poured water all over the camera. And I thought that's pretty cool. And then I looked over to the right and I saw something really spooky. It's her other eye, I think. And it looks really kind of, looks like the face is completely distorted. Which are your favorites, folks? Let me know in the comments, either if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. Let me know which ones you like and why. Now, this is Jean who started something. She posted this. After reading Sab's suggestion regarding selfies and seeing other people's photos, I decided to try taking a selfie through sheer curtains while I look through a window. So there's a curtain in between Jean and the camera, but they're thin curtains, and based on what the light is doing, you can see her. And there it is. It's a very soft photograph. It's tones of grey. It's almost, the darkest is probably this bit on the left here, and the brightest is probably under her chin and on the edge of her nose, and a tiny bit at the top. But it's very, very mid-grey tones. I thought I would like to play with this a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to find this. I mean, this is, I'm not saying anything's better than anything else, but I was tempted to play with this. And I'm trying to get it to come back to the if it would like to come back, that would be good. There we go. I hope. Okay. It's taken me, where's it taken me? Right back to the top of the page again. So what I did was what are we doing? Oh, I think I have to go back to the home page there. Yeah, so what I did was I played around with her photograph. All you have to do is enlarge the photograph in Facebook, copy it, Control C, and then you've got the photograph, and you can then play with it. Obviously, kind of with the permission of the person. If there's any doubt at all, I guess you should ask. But you're not gonna put it anywhere else except back in the group, I would think. So, so that's fine. So I played with it, and the results. Well, I love the results. Okay, we're getting that. Yeah. So, I think, anyone can do this. So that's Jean. There she is. Woof. Now, this is 𝘚𝘢, who did something inspired by what I did with Jean's photograph. Let's see. So this is what I did with Jean's photograph. Let's see if I can open these up. Okay, here's one. Here's another. Love this one. Love that tinge of warm orange on the left. Even more extreme. It's a harsher photograph. The left-hand side got almost completely dark, except that bright orange, and her face has gone lovely and light. It's really impressive. It depends whether you like it or not. It's completely and utterly personal taste. But I love them all, so I included them all. I think that was one of the originals, yeah. And this one is gone over the top, really contrasty. And I think it works amazingly. I love it. You know, if I like it, that's all that matters. If you like your photographs in a certain way, that's all that matters. And more of a tiny bit of sepia there. Right, let's see if this will please take me back without kicking me out somewhere. And then 𝗏𝗴 got inspired and she did something similar. Okay, I'm not sure. It's taking a little while. Yeah, so what you can do is, especially it works well with self-portraits because it's a bit like the Andy Warhol effect. You have a face and you have lots of different versions of it. Just seeing what my... Bear with me here. So don't forget to vote. I'll just fill in for a second. Don't forget to vote while my computer is not doing anything. What happens if what would happen if I click there? Okay, and where has it taken me? It's taken me to that photographs page. And then back again and back again. 3, 2, 1. And I'm at the top of the page again. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna. So which we're gonna go for? Tell me which theme you're going to go for out of the ones that you're going to choose from. That could fill in a bit of time, couldn't it? And you know, based on my little comment of, I went in for a kind of a competition and I didn't get it, and I turned that into something positive by inspiring me to do something that I wouldn't have done otherwise. What about you? Have you got any examples of that where you had a disappointment and you like a creative disappointment and you turned it into something positive? That'd be interesting to know. I think I'm going to open photographs in their own window now because it's annoying me that it does that. All right, so this is 𝗏𝗴, and she has taken the picture of her reflected in the train window, and she's turned it into a 𝗏𝗏, a quad. You've got a triptych, diptych, a triptych. What would a 𝗏 be? A quadric? I don't know. It's not a hat trick. And she's got a colorful one, top left and bottom right, and top right and bottom left is more black and white, different types of black and white. And it's great. I love it. You've almost got 8 Beatrices for the price of 4, except there's a half. There's 1.5 in each picture. So that makes 4, 5, 6 Beatrices for 4 photographs. It's cool. I like it. Right, let's go back here. And maybe we'll see Dorothy playing with her hand. I'm surprised she's about the only person who actually took a photograph through her hand, whereas that is one of the things I did suggest at some point. The candle, her book, her glasses, and there's one with just the candle. I must admit, I personally like the one with just the candle. I think it's really, really nice. I think she said that she preferred the other one. Yeah, I like this. It seems less sort of cluttered. And also the lighting. Look at the lighting. Here it's kind of almost daylighty, and here it's much, much warmer. It's almost as though the candle is the only light. Yeah, definitely for atmosphere, definitely go with this one. There's sort of too much. It seems like there's too much space in this one. And Jean, to find an old tree which has fallen down. It looks a bit like a heart, and she's got another tree taken through it. That's the thing, when you find a really cool frame, it's got to frame something really cool if you want to take the photograph to the next level. If it was just, you know, so having said that, there isn't really much through there, is there? There's a tree, there's another tree, which is fair enough. But yeah, it's got, you know what, if you could cheat, if you had somebody with you, they could stick their head on the other end of that, and that would at least, you know, give you a real subject. Because when you've got a wonderful frame, it's really cool to have something wonderful in the frame to be framed, if you see what I mean. So that's great. And when you've got a cute dog, you know, use it. So this looks like a dog's toy. Here is Maddie running through here. And she's put a dark vignette on the outside, a circular one, which works well with those lovely rich colors. How are we doing for time? Okay, I think we're getting to the end here. What a superb number of photographs, a superb range of photographs you sent in this week, folks. Well done. That was me. A grab shot. Now the camera is outside of the sort of little balcony hovering over the street. So you've got to be careful with this. And I tried to get both my eyes visible. Plus, if you look down towards the ground, the tendency is for your eyes to go into shadow, especially when you're sort of inside a building or there's something in front of your face. That could be a danger. In this case, there was quite a lot of light and I was looking more or less ahead. And I managed to, and even this bit here, the whole grid thing looks a bit like a face, don't you think? 2 eyes and a mouth and a nose. Or maybe this is the nose or the brow. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I kind of, this was a real grab shot. I only had a couple of seconds, but I tried to it's sort of, this bit here kind of follows my nose as well. So kind of a funny shot. Have it, it's all about meditation, and you sort of slip into the state of having your eyes looking around. On the off hand, you find something interesting. Yeah, and this will happen more and more. The more you do it, the more it happens. And then it almost becomes second nature to the point where you're irritating to be with for your friends. Now it's decided not to close again. Let's see, where is this taking me back to? All right. Can breathe again. Gloria. This is Gloria, and I don't really know Gloria. It's a friend of somebody's. And looking through a window, I realize now why these sound familiar, because I did a midweek chat about these. It sort of looks like a cross as well. It almost looks like a religious thing, whereas in fact I think it's probably just windows in a cross shape. I'm not sure actually. That's intriguing, because normally you have the thing through the frame is sharp, whereas here the curtains are well and truly sharp, and it almost makes what's outside the window a bit mysterious. Thanks for playing, Gloria. Hope you keep contributing. Beatrice, looking out of her window at a house that I've seen before, but she found a strange lampshade. And that's all you need. Get the lampshade, stick it in front of the camera, shoot through it. All of a sudden, you don't know it's a lampshade. All of a sudden, you've got this very curious frame, which isn't a frame that you can find on an app. It's totally original. I've seen toilet rolls being used as well, but they don't necessarily come out as glamorous as that. Through the car window, confused as to how the door handle gets reflected. Yeah, that is strange, isn't it? Yeah. And as I said in the mini vid, if you shoot through a window but you can't see the edge of the window might as well not be there. So that doesn't really work as a through theme. It's not quite. It doesn't look like you're shooting through something, basically. If you had a window with a strong reflection, then you might think, okay. Because in reflections, especially in shop windows, sometimes at night as well, this works well, not always. You can be shooting into a shop window, and you've got 50% is what is in the shop window, and 50% is being reflected behind, like traffic or cars or people. That can work really well. That can be quite intriguing. In this case, it's not so obvious. Thanks for playing, Chris. And through the eyes of a dog, yeah, I was saying, did Jean stick her head in this dog's thing, and which the cat has taken over apparently to get that shot? It's a lovely frame. Look at that gorgeous frame, and a dog's eye view. Except the cat's taking it over. There you are. There's the cat. The cat has taken over the dog's house. Whatever next? The world's being turned on its head. Oh no! Oh no! Have I gone back to the beginning? I don't believe it. I've gone back to the beginning again. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to my latest photographs. This was, and then I'll go back to the ones at the beginning just in case. So this was last week. I showed you last week's. I won't talk about them again. It was a black and white theme. So feel free to decide not only to display your photographs in a set of photographs in some way, but to have a theme and display photographs with the same theme altogether. to be honest, the only theme this has is that they're all black and white, almost. But try displaying all of your shots through things together. Make a composition. You can get quite a few apps where they allow you to make a composition of your shots. Say, for example, you chose a color and you had, let's say, 6 shots of something of the same color. Put them together. You'll be really surprised how cool they look. And I cover that in the photography masterclass. So that was last week. This is this week. Here it is. And I've just finished the theme. And thanks very much for commenting on the ones that you like. That's one of the things I do. A bit of a mishmash, although did I try to have any coherence here? Well, you know, sometimes when there's people, I try not to put the people together. So you've got either people or statues of people diagonally. Okay, you can literally see there is a person, a character of some sort in the diagonal lines. This woman in the middle I thought was great for the middle because there's something solid about it. Solid, square, and you've got these lines. As someone commented, can't remember who it was, that these lines lead from the bottom diagonally up towards the red square, and then from the top diagonally down, shooting towards the red rectangle. And there is a repetition of the red rectangle in her red book. And there she is, you know, just standing there waiting for her train, reading her book. I managed to get a shot with the big red thing completely unimpeded and unadorned of other people walking past, and her against the black. Now that may or may not be a good thing. She might disappear into the black behind, but as it is, she's got a slight rim. Certainly her hair is very bright, but even the rim of the coat there has some sort of light shining on it, and even on her right shoulder there. So that distinguishes her from the background. Otherwise it would just be a head, a head stick in the middle of nowhere. So I'm pleased with that shot. There's a lot of strange things happening, you know, with these white slots of the lights going down and diagonally into the center. And then in the bottom third, you've got similar white, thick white bands, but they're going across horizontally. So there's a definite echo of the theme there, but in a different way. Really pleasing, really pleasing. And then I played with the colors so that it's gone to a kind of strange greeny, eerie green with this kind of reddish tone as well, echoed in the book from the poster. So yeah, I like that one a lot. And then it was more of a mishmash, really. This one is a sunset in Paris, in the middle of Paris, with a fountain. When you've got a subject on a fountain, be careful not to just take too much, including all the rubbish bins, the people going past, etc. If there's a strong subject on a fountain, forget the fountain, go for the subject, fill the screen as though it were a person, as though you were taking a portrait of the person. So here's a portrait of this Sphinx thing. And there's an echo because there's another Sphinx down there as a kind of echo of the theme. Repetition is always nice, and it's on the sort of diagonal going down there to the paw. And then there's this lovely sun setting behind a tree and a lamppost in the distance on the bottom left, with a tiny bit of a Paris building in the bottom there as well. Diagonal line of the trees going along, and a tiny little bit of sky in the top left. So yeah, it's quite pleasing for what it is. And in the bottom right, there's another statue, completely different style, and yet it's still a statue, isn't it? This is in one of the Paris parks, and there's a whole row of these. And what the guy did was, it's called Children of the World, Les Enfants du Monde, and he took casts of road features like drain covers and the bitumen and stuff like that from countries around the world. This is New York. This is called Jim the New Yorker, something like that. And then he made statues based on that. And it's really, really great, really cool. There's something about this. I'm always telling you, I'm always saying, You take a picture of somebody else's art, well done them, but what about you? So the thing I've added here, amongst other things, are the dogs. The dogs are mine. The artist didn't plan on the dogs. There's two dogs chasing each other. They're blurred. They're having a good time, which kind of goes with kids, running around. There were kids running around, but here I got the dogs. So it's sort of the universe of play and playing around and stuff. So that's my addition to the photograph. So it's not just a picture of somebody else's statue. And this one, what can you tell me about this? What do you think? What do you see? Let me know. Anything special about this photograph? I can wait. Now, feel free to type. Let me know what you think is, how did I maybe make a little bit of an effort here? Well, feel free to type in your answer, even if I answer before you've typed it. There are two trains going towards each other on a bridge behind this paddle steamer on the River Seine. You don't just get the two trains positioned there. Well, it's by chance that I was there and didn't have to wait too long for them to be there, but I wanted them to be like that. This is the extra mile you can go, or sometimes it's just an extra inch to get something a little bit more special than just a snap. I went there, I looked around, I judged angles, I wondered what was going to happen. I thought maybe a train will go past. I was lucky. I got two. I was ready to get them in a position where they complement the background. Maybe it's too busy. Maybe it would be better without the trains. But this is Paris. So Paris has trains. And there's a couple of amazing bridges where they go across the river. Very impressive. And, it just adds to the richness of this photograph. It's a paddle steamer. I don't think it's an original one from Louisiana, but it's called the Louisiane Belle. And it's pretty impressive. And so there you go. A kind of strange mixture of Paris and New Orleans on the River Seine there. And I threw in an angle because I like angles. What else? Well, this one got a bit of chat going. Pink, very, very pink. There is a house in Paris, this house, which is very pink. There's actually a street, and on this street is famous for having a lot of different colored houses. And that's not so common in Paris. They're normally pretty standard apartment blocks. But every now and then, if you know where to go, you'll see some weird stuff. I'm also doing a photo project, collecting numbers from 1 to 100, more or less. And I want those numbers, Paris numbers, to not be standard Paris numbers. The standard Paris numbers is a standard big white numbers on a blue plaque. You might think that's this, but it's not. They're not like this. So this is one of my special numbers, and it happens to be on a very special house. I also tried to play with the corners. So you'll notice that in the corner of my photograph, in every corner, there is a corner of a window in varying sort of dimensions and angles coming in. You'll see that the horizontal is pretty much respected. I'll just change what I said. You'll see that the vertical is pretty much respected. You see the vertical line goes down. It's normal, but the horizontal lines are at extreme angles. That's because I went off to the side. Far more interesting than taking it straight on. Please don't take photographs straight on if you can, because as soon as you move to the side and turn the camera to be at an angle to the facade, the lines start doing crazy things, and it's much, much more interesting. As you can see, if I had taken it straight on, every single corner, even if I'd tried to get a corner of the window in each corner, they'd all have been the same. That's not quite true, but more or less the same. Whereas here, they're all completely different. Tiny little corner in the bottom left, long corner in the top left, a triangle in the top right, and then this big fat sort of block in the bottom right. with the famous number. Otherwise, it would still be a bit of a boring photograph. So there is the number. There you go. And this one was, it's not a standard Paris number, but I found the shot kind of boring, to be honest. But I took it. I needed the number 26, and there it is. You've got a bit of a reflection of the Paris facade in the window, so in and of itself, it's not an amazing photograph, but it fits into my series of numbers wonderfully. And I still played with the angles. You can notice that in the bottom right, you've got the number, and there's a kind of corner on the number, the wooden corner bit, and it's echoed by the black corner in the top right. So I tried to do something reasonably pleasing to look at, even though it's kind of a boring shot. By the way, have a theme. Have a theme as you walk around. Have several themes. If you've got several themes in your mind as you walk around, you'll see far more shots than if you don't. For example, you might have door knockers or street numbers or cigarette packets on the ground or drain pipes or open windows. It could be anything. If you've got a series in mind that you're slowly building, your brain will be working to spot new photographs for that series, and it's really good for your creativity. So street numbers is one of mine. I will talk about this. This is the Paris rubbish. They were on strike for about 3 or 4 weeks, and it was pretty horrendous. There was just rubbish piled up all over the place in the districts where the people were on strike. There were some districts, they weren't on strike. They had private collectors. The public ones were on strike. So you could literally, if you lived in between two districts where some were on strike and some weren't, you turn left, you were in the sort of mountains of rubbish, stinking rubbish. You turn right and it was nice and clean. Very bizarre. And well, this one is just a self-portrait. I won't, it is what it is. That's a theme of mine, self-portrait every 10 days. Why? Because I'm always there. I turn around and there I am, the ideal subject. And finally, I will talk about this. Behind this guy was a huge statue of the for the Louis Vuitton, the handbag, expensive handbag and luggage people. And there was a huge statue. Turn round, and here's this guy playing a flute with fashion stuff behind. So this actually led to a big sort of diatribe on the price of handbags, the way it does. All of my photographs inspire something in me. It can be funny, it can be miserable, it can be cutting, it can be banal, it can be historic, nonsensical, poetic. Whatever happens, something happens. So by taking a photograph and doing something with it, it's a thing, it's a thing I do. I give my brain fodder to do other stuff with. So it takes the image and it turns it into words. Sometimes the words aren't related to the photograph, but it's incredible how it happens. I mean, it happens. I can't say it doesn't, because this is number 1915 of a text similar to this and a photo like this in a row, days in a row. So it works. Almost 2,000 days in a row on this project. This has been happening, and it's pretty phenomenal. Can you imagine? Nearly 2,000 photographs and 2,000 texts, which I've worked on. It's not just, sometimes they're faster than others. Sometimes they take a while, but that's a lot. That's probably 2 or 3 books, thick books. And I don't know where it's come from. I just do a little bit every day. It amazes me. I mean, I'm not even planning on publishing them as a book. I don't know if they'd hang together, but I'm producing something. I'm leaving a legacy. It sounds a bit sort of grandiose and stuff, but well, I like it. I like the fact that this is happening. I don't have any need really to do any more than publish them on Facebook and on my website. And I'm creating, and one thing inspires another. So there you go. Those are my photographs from the last chapter. Thank you for watching those. And I'm just going to try and go back. By the way, if you just joined, thank you, welcome. And I will just remind you that I've just done this. And if you check on my profile, you will see this. This is the way I compensated for a disappointment. I created something new. That's how my brain works. So check this out if you're interested in Paris. If you're a Paris lover, this is the best I can do to invite people to share my vision of this city. And it's a big project that is happening, and I'm excited about it. So if you want to be part of that, grab that and see what happens. So can I get back to these last photographs? Let's see. And again, vote. Make sure you vote. What are you going to go for? Yeah, that's why that's not doing anything. All right, let's go look at these last ones. Community home. That's what I'm looking for. Now, I would like you to suggest a theme as well. Why don't you think of a theme now, and you can put it in the poll, in the comments to the poll, a suggestion for a future theme, because I can't think of everything, and I think it's more interesting if other people think of themes. So if you can think of a theme which would be interesting that you'd like to do in the future, give it to me, and I'll put it in a future poll, or even just choose it. I don't have to do a poll every time. I just thought that was quite fun. But I can choose. I can choose your theme. If I like it and you like it, then we'll go for it. You've got themes which are quite literal. You've got themes which are more technical, like through something. You've got themes which are more metaphorical, even philosophical. So anything you like, really. All right, so we are getting, there's Dorothy's candle. Now, which of these am I going to honor this week? I need to do that. I keep forgetting to say which of my favorites are. So here's Dorothy. This was Ingrid through the wall. So she realized that something interesting was happening through these. Is it somebody she knows is building a house or something? That doesn't look very safe, actually, but well spotted. Yeah, nice little frame there. This is Dorothy through a toilet paper roll. There you go. I thought of doing that myself, actually. And a pipe belonging to a rake. Okay. Isn't it nice how the photographs hang together with those round objects? Chris looking through a lollipop, large coloured lollipops. Chris, what? Forgetting what it is, either the lollipop or what is through the lollipop, those colours are absolutely mind-blowing. Rich pink and rich purpley blue. Look at that thing on the right there as well. It's incredible colours. I could, oh God, don't tell me it's gonna, is it taking me back? Where is it taking me? I'm going slowly mad. Let's try there again. Take me back home. Okay, I'm going to kill somebody now. Right, if you or I've got the patience to get through those to the end. But anyway, I tried to start something which was a huge non-success. I thought of a song with the word through in. Through something is the theme this week. And I thought of a song, which I've now forgotten. No, I'm Looking Through You by the Beatles. So I started a thread on songs which are inspired by the theme of the week, and nobody contributed. So I then thought of another song, which was The Doors, Break On Through to the Other Side. A door as well, you can look through the door. Again, nobody contributed anymore, so probably won't do that again. And then finally, Thomas contributed. Good old Thomas. Beatrice is saying something. My favorite is The Eye of Angler Through a Glass. Okay, that's interesting because it was black and white as well. So it wasn't the color that did it for you. It was the composition and the strength of the shot. That's a bit like we said last time, when it was black and white shots, they can sometimes be stronger than color. Color can sometimes get in the way. Oh, I wouldn't have wanted to miss this. I'm talking about this actually. Beatrice's hand through a net. It's really striking. It's really cool. I'm going to blow it up in another window. How simple is that? And yet it's an unusual shot. It's really an artistic shot. So you don't have to, you know, basically an orange, a bag for oranges, probably, and her hand. And you've got a strange artistic shot. Excellent. Bob's raspberries through a magnifying glass. He just happened to have lying around the way you do. We're at 1 hour. We're going to finish in a minute. That's cool. This nicely interpreted the theme through rays and water drops. That's I love that, Laurel. That's nice. Jean through. There were so many entries this week through a sort of weird tubey thing. That's the technical term. Teresa, nicely spotted, Teresa. A nice, lovely, natural frame there. And you've got the thing through the frame sharp, not the frame. Jean looking through a gate to a road. That's strange. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Monumental arch, preserved arch. Kaleidoscope, looking into kaleidoscope. Can you guess what I'm looking through? Okay. This is Thomas. Not quite sure what Thomas was doing some questing in his own mind about whether through works here or not. Abstracty, like it. And that's me. Just in case you didn't know what the word through meant, that was me inspiring you. And there we are. I think we are done, and we're more or less at the hour. So I will leave you with this one. So thank you, folks, for watching. That has been the another episode on a Sunday evening here in Paris of the Smartphone Photography Show. Thanks for playing. And boy, did you play. This is fantastic. Let's keep getting new people. Invite your friends, as you have done. Contribute again when you feel moved to do so. Keep being creative. Maybe put some collages together. When you've got on a theme, think maybe more than one photograph. Think, I'm going to do a set of 3 here. I'm going to do a triptych. What would look cool as a triptych? Bea says, I really love this weekly theme. It was very creative. Yeah, wasn't it? It was really good. Really good. So I hope the next one will be interesting too. It won't be the same. It can't be the same. It's always going to be different. So thanks for playing, folks. And don't forget, today's the day. My Facebook group, Today's the Day, where you can share cool things that happen on a day-to-day basis, including tiny little things which seem insignificant, things that make you realize that each day is important. And if you're interested in my Paris thing, becoming a true Paris connoisseur, this is going to be one of my life's major works, my Paris masterclass. It sounds like a one-off event. It's not. It's going to last for many, many weeks and months, probably. You want to get in at the beginning. There it is. Check it out. So thanks, folks. I'll leave it at that. I look forward to you voting in the poll, in the group. Encourage your friends to join us as well. Thanks for playing, and happy snapping. I'll see you again during the week in the group. Bye for now, folks. Take care, and happy end of weekend.